is marijuana or marijuana haram? The question we need to ask ourselves, what is this marijuana? Marijuana, we know it's called opium, or we want bangi. It is an intoxicant. It changes the mind of a person. So, what is the Islamic ruling on consuming something that will change your intellect, will change, intoxicate you in the way you think? The answer is haram. And unfortunately, many people even ask you, where is it written in the Quran or in the Sunnah that marijuana or bangi or changa is haram? My dear brother, sister, who is listening to me, we are told in the Quran that alcohol is haram. The reason why it has been made haram is because it is an intoxicant. Then the Prophet ﷺ has told us that anything that changes your mind that is an intoxicant through qiyas is also haram. So anything, and the scholars also have used what we call the principle of analogy, that is qiyas, comparing two things that are different but they have the same effect, then they are given the same hukm. So because marijuana changes your mind, it intoxicates you, it makes you abnormal, just like alcohol, then it is haram. And I wanted to extend it a little bit. Even mirah, if by chewing mirah you feel intoxicated, and you'll hear people talking about handas, it also becomes haram. So the Islamic ruling on taking marijuana or any drug that is intoxicating is haram, and there are no two ways about it. Fellow Muslims, we should avoid it because it is not allowed in Islam. There's also this notion that marijuana could also be a medicine, a cure for some diseases. The guiding principle in Islam is this, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not make what is haram to be a medicine or put medicine, cure, in what is haram. But in Islam, there is something we call darura, the law of darura, the principle of darura, the law of necessity. When it is necessary and the only cure is this, then it can be taken as a cure. But who is to determine that? It has to be determined by an expert that this kind of disease requires this medicine. And in English, why do we say drug abuse? It's because some of those substances that people use to get intoxicated, they were not intended for that use. They were intended for treatment, other things. I am yet to hear that marijuana, opium, was intended for cure. But in case of darura, and a medical expert determines that the only cure is in this, then it will be given as a cure, but not as something to get you high. And that is the ruling of Islam. Allahu A'lam.